Hello, boys and girls, and welcome to Wednesday Night Bible Study. Tonight we continue our study of the Kingdom Provided in the Old Testament in the book of 1 Samuel. Now, we've learned that the Israelites asked for a king, and God gave them what they asked for, and Saul was chosen as king. Was Saul a good king, boys and girls? Not really. He didn't fully obey God, and God told Samuel that there would be another king chosen. And last week's story, we found that Samuel anointed David as king. Now, David did not become king immediately. Saul was still king, and David had many victories where the people began to love him. If you remember in last week's story, he defeated a giant named Goliath, and all the people thought David was wonderful after this great victory. Now, what sometimes happens to people when other people get a lot of attention, or maybe something really great happens to a friend and it doesn't happen to you? Sometimes we get jealous, and that's exactly what happened to Saul. Saul became very jealous of David, so much so he even wanted to kill him, and David had to run and hide. Well, in tonight's story, we find that David has a chance to pay Saul back for the way he's treating him and for the way that he's coming after him and trying to kill him. What do you think, boys and girls? Remember what we learned about why God chose David? For his heart. Do you think David will try to get back at Saul? Or do you think he will show him mercy? Let's watch and find out.
Hey everyone, Megan here, and
I am Jessie.
friends, I have a story to introduce today's Bible story. A story about Jessie.
Me?
Yep.
What is it?
Okay, let me tell everyone. You know how much Jessie loves his new bike?
Yes, my Galactic Theater Racer 20-inch trail bike.
Yes, that's the one. Well, Jessie's little brother rode Jessie's bike without his permission and got a flat tire. But instead of getting mad, Jessie showed his brother mercy and told him he could ride his bike anytime. Isn't that cool?
Aw, thanks, Megan. Yeah, well, I started to get mad, but I asked God to help me, and he did. That is a good story.
Yes, it's an awesome story, Jessie. I'm so proud of you. And today's Bible story, David showed mercy to someone too. Let me tell you about it. David was hiding in the hills. He had served King Saul and won many battles, but now Saul was jealous of David and wanted to kill him. Saul went looking for David. David and his men were hiding in the back of a cave when Saul happened to pass by. Saul decided to go inside the cave. David's men saw Saul. "Look," they said, "God said he would give you your enemy. This is the day. You can do whatever you want to him." David got close to Saul and secretly cut off the corner of Saul's robe. Saul did not see David. After that, David felt upset about what he had done. He told his men, "I will not fight the king. God chose him." Saul left the cave and went on his way. David followed him and called out, "My lord, the king!" Saul turned around and David knelt low before him. "Why do you think I'm trying to hurt you?" David asked. "Look, I had a chance to hurt you, but I showed mercy." David showed Saul the corner of the robe that he had cut. Saul began to cry. "You are more righteous than I," Saul said, "because you have done what is good to me, even though I have done what is evil to you. Most people would hurt an enemy, but you have let me go. May God reward you for being kind." Saul knew God was with David and that David would be the king of Israel. Saul said, "Promise me you will not hurt my family when you are king." So David promised. Then Saul went home, and David and his men went back to the hills. David showed mercy to Saul, his enemy, because David trusted God's plan. Jesus trusted his Father's plan too. He died on the cross so his enemies could have God's mercy and live forever as part of God's family.
All right, boys and girls, what did David do? Did he get back at Saul, or did he show him mercy? He showed him mercy. He could have easily killed Saul, but he didn't. He displayed mercy to him. Now, mercy is giving someone what they do not deserve. Saul deserved for David to come back at him, but that's not what David did. But if you think about it, who gives the most mercy of anyone? God. We sin against God and we do things that are wrong. God could easily just punish us for all of the bad things that we do. But instead, he sent his son Jesus to rescue us from our sin. That was the greatest display of mercy ever given. And I'm so thankful that he did that for me and for you. Now, I have a few questions. I want to see how well you were listening to the story. Question number 1. Why was Saul looking for David? Yes, Saul was jealous of David, and he was looking for him because he wanted to hurt him. Number 2, where were David and his friends hiding? That's right, they were hiding in a cave. Number 3, what did David do to Saul when he came into the same cave? It was interesting, wasn't it? He secretly cut off a part of his robe. Wow. Number 4, did David hurt Saul or did he let him go? That's right, he let him go. Number 5, who would be king of Israel after Saul? Yes, David would be king. And then our big picture question. How is Jesus the perfect king? Jesus perfectly rules over everything. Now, boys and girls, neither Saul nor David were perfect kings because they were human. But Jesus is the perfect king. Now, tonight we have a missions video that I want to share with you about the Harrell family who's serving in Mozambique. And I think they may look familiar to you because they were in last year's Vacation Bible School missions video. They were actually featured in the Wild missions video. So I think you'll recognize them. They've been serving there for 16 years now, telling people about the perfect King, Jesus. Let's see what's happening in Mozambique.
Brian and Becky Harrell have been missionaries in the country of Mozambique for many years.
As we were looking at places to go, we wanted to go to a place where nobody else was working. We wanted to go to where there was lostness.
When missionaries talk about lostness, they are referring to people who don't know about Jesus and have very little opportunity to hear the gospel. These people are lost and have little long-term hope without Jesus. Becky and Brian, along with their 1-year-old son, settled on the northern coast of Mozambique. Many villages along this coast are hard to get to. The roads are not good. That's one of the reasons the Harrells use a boat to get to the people living in these places. There are over 100 villages up and down the Mozambique coastline where there are absolutely no Christians there to share the gospel with them. A lot has changed in the Harrells' life since moving to Mozambique so many years ago. For one, they have added 3 more children to their family.
Personal prayer request would be just for our family. I mean, when we go and do our children's ministry, I love to have my children with me. This is something we do as a family. We're in this together.
When they go to the villages to do children's ministry, the family works together. Though it took a lot of hard work and a lot of time, God has used the Harrells to change the lives of the people they work with as well.
We're starting to see people sharing their faith. We're starting to see new works planted. We're starting to see national believers go out as missionaries. All these things that we had talked about over a decade ago, we are starting to see the beginning part of that in our ministry right now.
As you pray for the Harrell family, remember to pray for the new believers. Ask that they would be brave to share with their family and friends. Pray that many, many people living along the northern coast of Mozambique will no longer be lost, but found in Jesus Christ.
All right, boys and girls, did the Harrell family seem familiar to you? Did you remember them from Vacation Bible School last year? Well, they're doing wonderful work in Mozambique, and we need to be praying for them. Now, also tonight, I hope you'll take some time with your family to read the story. It comes from the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 24, and my heading says, David Spares Saul's Life. Boys and girls, I hope that you will remember this beautiful word, mercy, and remember how Jesus has shown mercy to us, and we should so show mercy to others. Have a wonderful week, and I'll see you soon.